So I'm going over, again, the book of Isaiah. This is chapter 59, and this one is verse 18. And this is out of the Contemporary English Version. It says, "Now the Lord will get furious, and do to his enemies, both near and far, what they did to his people." And also in the Christian Standard Bible, it says, "So he will repay according to their deeds, fury," which is violent anger or rage, "to his enemies, retribution," which is punishment to his foes, the enemies, "and he will repay the coasts and islands, which are enemies near and far." So this is a time that we're in it now, and it's going to get more and more intense. We're going to start seeing more things happen, like with his judgment on his enemies, our enemies. So it says, "Now the Lord will get furious and do to his enemies, both near and far, what they did to his people." Well, our enemies have been coming against us for a very long time, but basically since 2020, we have really seen it. They have, like, the enemies have been, like, with the government, all sorts of them, just coming against us. I mean, if you're awake, you know all the enemies that have been coming against all of God's people. But God is furious. It's saying God is furious, and he will repay according to the things that they have done, all the things that they have done to his children. So the enemies has caused a lot of death, a lot of sickness, just they've tried to kill as many people as possible. And they have done all sorts of things to God's children. And it's not even just sickness or death, it's just financial, it's just a whole ball of things. And I'm sure, many of you are going through something, rather it is people coming against you, if it's, family, if it's work, if it, wherever. It could be all different financial things. It could be a sickness, whatever it may be that the enemy is causing. And they will have to pay for everything that they have done against us. God does get justice. His punishment, it says, the retribution or punishment to the enemies, whether it's in the United States, rather if it's in another country, it doesn't matter, wherever they are. I mean, there's enemies scattered everywhere in about every country out there. So it's everyone. So some of our enemies think that they can hide by going to another country, thinking that they're gonna escape punishment. And it does not matter where they go, because God knows exactly where they're at. It's not man that they should fear. It is God who will get justice. God is, he can take anybody's breath away in an instant. And it does not matter where they're at. You just don't know. We are just very fortunate to be able to wake up every single morning. And these evil people that have done so much against God's people, they are going to pay for the things that they have done. They have sown bad seed, and they are going to reap a very bad harvest. Because you sow something bad, that you're doing bad against somebody, then you are going to reap bad. You reap what you sow. And a lot of our enemies have been doing some awful things, and they are responsible for a lot of death. So this retribution or punishment, it shows that God will deliver justice, because he is a God of justice. And you can look anywhere in the Bible, and God is always giving justice to his people. and he is a God of justice. So not only his enemies, but those who have wronged his people. This reinforces that God is aware of human actions and will respond accordingly. So by responding accordingly, the punishment is what they reap, or what they sow, they will reap. So these evil people, our enemies, have sown a lot of death. They are going to reap that death. And in Isaiah 60, verse 1 and 2, this is out of the Classic Amplified, arise from the depression and prostration, which is total exhaustion or weakness, in which circumstances have kept you. Rise to a new life. Shine, be radiant with the glory of the Lord, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and dense darkness all peoples, but the Lord shall arise upon you, O Jerusalem, and his glory shall be seen on you. So he's saying, arise, stand up. Don't let the enemy knock you down and keep you down. I mean, we all get knocked down, but we have to get back up. We can't stay down. We can't stay defeated. We have to arise. And so he says, arise from the depression. He knows that you're exhausted. He knows that you feel weak and just can't do anymore. But he says, arise, because so much better is ahead. And it says, in which circumstances have kept you. There's so many people that are in so many different circumstances. It has got them down. But he says, rise to a new life, because the latter is going to be better than the former. So this new life that he has for you, it's going to look better than what you have already been through. So he doesn't want you staying defeated. He doesn't want you living that old life that has kept you down and depressed and just constantly exhausted, constantly feeling weak. He wants to strengthen you. So the joy of the Lord is our strength. We have to seek God and, let him strengthen us. So, get up, arise to this new life that he has for us. Shine, be radiant with the glory of the Lord, for your light has come and the glory of the Lord has risen upon you. So just rise, let him work in you, let him give you the strength. Because sometimes, we do get knocked down and we feel like we cannot get back up. And if you let God just strengthen you, get into his word, let him strengthen you. Because I know each day, some days it can be hard to just do anything. But you have to get back up. You can't stay defeated. Because so much better is ahead than what you've already been through. Because some people look at you go through so much and you think, I can't deal with any of this anymore. But then you think, it's hard to imagine that, when you're in such that dark place that you think, it's never going to get any better. It's probably going to get worse. But no, he says it's going to be better. Rise and shine. Rise to a new life. He's got better ahead for you, not worse. Things are going to be better. So, and it says, For behold, darkness shall cover the earth, and dense darkness all peoples, but the Lord shall arise upon you. So this dense darkness, it comes before God's divine light appears. So people think darkness, that's going to be so scary. The darkness is for the enemies. The darkness is not for God's people. So the reference to this is in Exodus chapter 10, verses 21 through 23. And so I'm going to read this out of the New International Version. So this is about the 3-day plague of darkness on Egypt. So the darkness was so thick it could be felt. So these were on Egypt. This was not on God's people. This was on the enemy of God's people. So no one could see anyone else or move about for 3 days. Yet all the Israelites had light in the places where they lived. So the Egyptians had darkness so thick they couldn't even move. But yet God's people had light. So, and we are going to have a time of darkness. But this darkness is not for God's people. This darkness is going to be for our enemies. So, just be encouraged. Truly be encouraged. And things, the media can say all this negative stuff. They will try to instill fear. They will. That's what they do. So instead of listening to the news, which are just a bunch of liars, get into the Bible and read for yourself, because this stuff, God promises this stuff. He tells you exactly what's going to happen. We may not know exactly when it's going to happen, but we can know by the seasons. We can tell by, okay, this happened here. This is what's happening now, so this is upon us. So, it helps to calm you down so you don't get anxious about, what's going to happen. What's going to happen, we don't know exactly how it's going to play out, but we can compare it to the Bible. So, and that helps to bring peace to you so you don't fear so much. Because it does help tremendously. So, and whether you're reading through Isaiah or whatever chapter it is, there's all sorts of stuff that pertains to the time we're in now. So, go into it, go read Isaiah, read Matthew, wherever, whether you're reading the Old Testament, the New Testament, it's in a lot of places in the Bible. So if you read through it, you'd be like, wow, that's happening now, So, so just get into it and read it. It's very interesting. So I hope this helps somebody, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.